How are you, Todd?
Good. You, Rhys?
Yeah, just sitting in the sun, mate, a week out from the convention.
Oh, no, it's glorious, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice to see the sun out.
It is. Well, August is always a sunny month.
It is.
So,
Yeah, that's good.
how you
Good for the
feel?
terrace.
Very good for the terrace, which was good last year, and it should be better this year.
It's going to be a lot better this year.
So we've got Halo screen printing out there.
Yep.
Got Rattlin' Bones out there.
Yep.
PTAA out
AA.
there.
And the main thing, the bar.
The bar. Some music.
Yep.
The vape lounge, the smoking den.
Yep.
All that's out there.
Yep.
The melting pot of all sort of cultures.
Yeah. The view's nice.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, nice view.
It's nice going into it this year, like a lot more relaxed, a lot more smoother. We didn't really know how it was going to go last year.
No.
There's obviously a few hiccups here and there early in a piece with the floor plan layout that we couldn't change because we ran out of time. This year it's a whole lot more improved, more spacious.
More spacious, yeah. It's just first time around is always tricky, isn't it?
Yeah,
You think you know and you've done, between us a squillion conventions and then you do your own and you're like, spark.
But I think that's because us as tattooers, we're used to adapting on the spot,
Yeah.
solving a problem. But then when you're dealing with council regulations and corporate stuff,
Yeah, it's a
You just-
different ball game.
you meet these roadblock after roadblock.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. There's more people involved. There's more red tape.
Yeah.
But this year's much more smooth.
Yeah.
Even though we changed the booth setups 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, it's back to that, just adapting as as
it
tattooers
was
do.
just a more a better way to do things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one of the good things last year, like everyone's, one of the good things is there's really a lot of communication between the booths, across from each other, side by side.
Yeah.
Back to that smaller, boutique-y, convention-y sort of atmosphere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's definitely still gonna have that feature,
yeah.
but there is just more space in the lanes now. So it's more crowd friendly, I suppose.
Yeah.
A bit more space, and there's not the lane so much on the outer walls.
Yep.
So then we could spread out everything a little bit more, which made it more spacious. And then we got downstairs, which is, amazing space. Where you're going to have some history stuff. We're going to have the swap meets. We're going to have what else? We've got the made to suit, the big attraction down there.
I think they're going to have something like 80 bodysuits
Yeah.
lined up, which is like 80. I think there's over 120 meters
Yeah.
worth of bodysuits, which is pretty phenomenal.
Oh, arguably the best bodysuit show in the world.
Yeah. Definitely right now.
Definitely.
And also downstairs, there's another bar downstairs.
Yep.
Big screen projector showing what's on upstairs.
Yes.
I'm going to be roaming between the two floors, doing live crosses from downstairs as well.
Me also. Yeah, and it's probably the most impressive artist chill out area I've seen.
Yeah, it's almost like some hierarchical, regal, secret lounge area that, nice plush red velvet and leather and
It
wood.
looks like it looks like an old safe or
Yeah, there's no
bunker
safe there.
or
I
something.
think they had like all the chamber meetings for all the lords of beef, powers that be, that controlled all the strings of Sydney back in the heyday.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
If anybody's seen the Banksy exhibition, they would have got an idea of the space. But once all those walls are taken out, it's just so big
huge.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
And another thing we will have is another entry there.
Yeah.
So that's open.
Yeah.
So we're going to have ticket sales from there also.
Yeah.
And like Katie and I and you have discussed, if the flow is a little slower, we can always close the front doors and make.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think
there's going to be a natural flow.
Yeah, and that'll naturally be a big meeting point outside there because it's on the street.
Yeah.
It's not as, even though there's going to be loads of protesters out the front.
Yeah.
God bother us, don't get tattooed, all the usual stuff. And every other political thing that is being forced right now in the world is going to be on stage down there. So that side part's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's a good spot there. It's actually, that's the loading bay when it's being used as the loading bay. So it's not going to be the loading bay when we're there, when the show's on. So everyone can just sort of mill around there. And,
And also good tunes again. One of the best sound systems.
Yep.
And this year, I believe the young guy's name is Titus is playing the organ, a 20-minute
playing the
ensemble.
Organ. Yep.
So he's got something tucked up his sleeve.
Actually flying out was super lucky. Like he's got to go straight to the airport from playing the 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool that we got him to do it. Like, it was a bit freakish that he's going to come and do it. And a lot of people are pretty excited about it because it's not often you get to hear that.
No. It's like it'll almost be some sort of spiritual experience.
For sure.
Especially in that building.
In that building's amazing.
And then the AV boys and the audio boys, they're not scared to crank up that sound system either.
Absolutely not. Shake the dandruff out of them.
Yeah. So and then we got to we're going to drop later in the week some info on the after parties.
Yes.
Yep. Sanchez is a part of.
Yeah, he should be doing
ceremonies.
Yeah, he is. And, to lube everybody up leading into the after parties was Young Henry's.
Yes.
Will is stocking all the bars.
Yep.
So, thanks, Oscar.
Nice. Bring it on. And then I think also we've got Born Dry is going to be a bunch of non-alcoholic beverages for those that choose to partake in those drinks.
People who want to, make it to the end of the convention.
Yes.
You need some water.
Yeah. And then we've got all the usual stuff. We've got a great selection of some of Australia's best artists because ours is predominantly an Australian event showcasing Aussie artists.
Yep.
And then we've got up to about 10 super strong and well-respected internationals.
Yep.
I think this year, for the first time, we've got 3 artists coming over from Tasmania, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got all the usual Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, WA people coming as well. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. That's good. The venue is definitely makes it. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
And then just to see tattooing in that building's I think we explained last year how before COVID, there's not a chance we would have got it in there. Because we tried.
Yeah, because tattooing was seen.
It was just so far afield. But after COVID and trying to regenerate the city, and it was the timing for sure.
Yeah.
But it's to walk in there and see tattooing and machines that sound like machines and the banter and the music. And then that building is it's something else.
Yeah. I think
special.
I think that's a lot of last year there was definitely a lot of older tattooers and tattooers that had been off the convention scene for a long time.
Yeah.
They dusted off their banners and came back.
Yeah.
And there were, some real nice comments were along the lines of, it felt like an older show with modern vibes to it.
For sure.
Or it felt like a European show.
Yeah.
Whether it be, not to the same thing, but just the vibes. And a lot of that is the building, the intimacy of it, the high quality of artists as well. And even though it does cover the broader range of tattooing, it's more focused on the traditions of tattooing. Rather than the latest trends.
Being progressive, you still have to respect the past. You know what I mean? And that's what we're about, as I suppose individuals. We're into the past, we're into the present, but we also care about the future. And that's a big difference. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to take over. We're just trying to do a good thing. Because we are a non-for-profit organisation. We're just trying to do something good. Good and for tattooers and collectors.
100%. And that's where, I was grateful to be invited to become a part of this with you and Katie. Because you've had this blueprint and this plan and had it across the line at various venues leading up to the Town Hall one. And when the opportunity came up for to go to the next level, you know, it's amazing. And also, it's back to that thing, and with tradition and everything, like, fine line tattooing's been around since the 80s, if not earlier.
Yeah.
You know, Jack Rudy pioneered it, but there was single needle work going on in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
It's nothing new.
No.
So, you know, like, I now, as an older person now, you know, the 90s are back. You know, I've lived long enough to see the cycle, how it changes. And I remember my dad going, oh, you know, I was wearing like a flannelette shirt and acid wash jeans, and I was like 16 with a mullet. It's back right now. And my dad was wearing skinny jeans like that and a flannelette shirt when he was 30 years younger. So it's nice to actually see it and have the perspective and showcase it, and not try and ram it down people's throat, but just show them that if you want to be educated, hence the seminars, the tattoo history part, the apprentice talks, the entry into the industry. Adam's doing one on the supply industry. So it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's all relative to what is happening in the world today.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot, and we got the guys for the mental health stuff, and, you know.
Yeah, Ben from Rhys Foundation.
That's right.
Heavily tattooed man talking about, because, you know, right now more and more, especially after COVID, mental health's huge.
It is.
Finally, governments and organisations, corporate organisations are starting to focus on it. You know, probably because it affects productivity. But at that aside, it's still a great thing that we can focus on. So, you know, tattooing essentially is, for me, it's pretty useless. At the end of the day, it's breaking it right down. One of its main focuses is for you to feel good about yourself. That can be through your physical appearance, your mental power. Like, it could be done for bereavement, it could be done for a celebration. So Ben's going to talk through how tattooing has helped him. It's helped you, it's helped me. It helps people grieve, it helps people celebrate. It empowers people. So it's such a good thing. And I think in an environment, because tattooing, our era of tattooing was sort of seen as slightly hyper-masculine. You know, of like, you know, we all grew up working around tough guys where you don't talk about your feelings. Our parents didn't talk about their feelings, where now we can. So it's going to be a good thing to drop that in that forum. And just show people that, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? That's not to say everybody has to throw themselves on the floor.
No,
it's just about how you deal with your life situations, you know what I mean?
And get some tools and move forward, rather than, you know, you want to be a survivor and evolve from it. You don't want to live your life as
you want to come out of whatever, you know, hardship you're going through. It's not, you don't want to go the opposite way. You want to work out, get the tools to move forward, you know, and be a stronger person.
And a benefit to the community.
Totally.
And to those around you. So it's good stuff. So that's an exciting part to be bringing into the convention for the first time. I think maybe even into the convention scene in Australia. So...
well, tattooing is emotional, isn't it? At every level. From tattoo artist to, you know, collector to clientele to... shop owners, shop managers, like every level is like, you know, it's a complicated industry.
It is. It is. And then, you know, the made to suit side of things is just showcasing the creative level of art of all the various different artists out there, the different mediums, the different styles, focusing on a whole bodysuit. And it's interesting to see all the different, some people have gone super trad, super jap, realism, horror, like Eastern influence, everything, like merging styles, paintings, everything. So it's another great thing to see tattooing expressed on a bigger form rather than this big or a half sleeve or a full sleeve or a back. It's a whole body.
It's pretty impressive to look at, isn't it?
And I
think when it was at Little Tokyo the other week and walking in there, you're just like, holy shit.
It was special. Like, we all tattooed. We had a Friday and Saturday night. We tattooed amongst them all on the Saturday. And it was cool. Everyone's like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I wish it was like this every day.
Yeah.
So,
Come on.
you
You
know.
never know.
yeah, but all that stuff is super cool. So we've got a bunch of competitions running, a few on the Friday, then Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's the usuals like the best of day, best of show for every day.
Yep.
Everyone the collector and the artist gets the skateboards. Like
amazing.
Everybody's watched the Instagram or whatever.
Yep.
You know, I've been putting the plaques on the skateboards for the last 2 days.
Yep.
It's taken a while, but
And doing all the artist supply bags.
I've been doing that. I pinched me back, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting a bit funny in the chair. But it's been good. You know, it's good to get to that point because the wheels are turning.
Yeah.
And there's no stopping it now.
Yeah.
We've gone through all the ups and downs.
Yeah.
And it's been, it's been exciting.
Yeah.
As it always is. But now doing that's like the simple side of it where I'm just like putting it all together and, you know, it feels real now, like touching all the, you know, still getting excited about, you know, different sized pots.
Totally.
You know, fanboy.
Totally.
And I still get excited about all that.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. You know, like we could get someone else to do it, but it wouldn't be the same.
Yep. Yeah, it's hands on. Like, you know, and you and Katie are the workhorses of all of this. It's phenomenal to see.
It is funny why, I don't know.
But that's it. Artist run show, family run show.
Yeah, it's definitely family based. You know, like then we're on Team Tattoo. You know,
Yep. Yep.
like we're all on the same team.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it just makes sense, really.
Yeah, it's
Everyone's chipping in, like, and some people have stronger points than others. You know,
Yep. Yep.
and everyone's coming together.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Another killer playlist. So any artists out there, you know, you can drop your own songs in on the convention Spotify list. We got the final 3 nights of the Olympics on as well, coincidentally.
Yeah,
So I'm sure there's going to be some Aussies bringing home some gold and
hopefully.
some big final stuff action. So we're very fortunate that a lot of all the stars aligned for it.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, it is funny that maybe I didn't realise, but when I was doing the skateboard design, did the gold and the silver. And then once you said that the other day about the Olympics, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
perfect.
Like, but I hadn't really thought like that. I didn't do it on purpose.
Yep.
Put it that way.
Yep.
I just thought, you know, gold and silver.
Yeah. And I remember
sense.
like some of the, because the PTAA is involved this year with a lot of the judging and the categories and that sort of thing. And I remember we were trying to talk about what are we going to do for the trophies this year.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's Year of the Dragon, we were thinking around these lines.
Yeah.
And you're an old skater.
Yeah.
You came up with it. And skateboards aren't anything new in tattooing or even as tattoo awards.
No.
But
But they look good.
they've drifted off for a long time. So I think it's part of bringing it back. And with the poster that Emily Jane did,
Yep.
mate, it's phenomenal. It's got those old school vibes. So they just go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Skateboarding, like, you know, it was my first love, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've skated since I was very young, and I actually went quite far with it. You know, I did the extreme games and things like that
Yeah, that's right.
back in the early 2000s.
I saw you were on the half pipe the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we went up there. We actually went up there to my youngest, Cash, was just adamant he had to practice his backflips in the foam pit. And then we got there, they didn't have a foam pit. So
Yep.
is what it is.
What do you do?
So there we go, Dad's out on the ramp.
Yeah.
Don't break a leg.
Yeah. Well, you know, skateboarding in Australia was that it changed things a lot. Like I'm 51 soon.
Yep.
And a lot of my clients that are in their 40s are skaters or ex-skaters or still skating.
Yeah.
Now, you know, like you're still on the board. Joe Bell that works at the shop, he's still skating.
Yeah. It was our era, you know.
Yeah, it was a cultural change, wasn't it?
You know, dirt biking, which I do
BMXs.
a lot of with the kids.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing an enduro race 2 weeks
Really?
after. Yeah,
Amazing.
I'm doing an enduro race 2 weeks after the convention. So when I come back from the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
I got to train hard for a week, and then I go to Gloucester for a 3-day event.
Oh, mad.
Yeah,
On an electric bike or proper motorbike?
no, it's on the KTM.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
So that I'm teams with my mate Bill.
Yeah.
So we're going in. We're both pretty like mad hatters.
Yep.
So if we're going in to win,
Yeah.
aim high always.
Or maybe
you know, if you get to somewhere in the pack, it's good.
Yeah. Is this the entry to the Fink race up in the Northern Territory next year?
Could possibly be.
Amazing.
We're dipping our toes in.
Yep.
You know, we'll have to rough a few heads to get sharpen the elbows. There'll be
Maybe you're going to like get the bikes decked out.
Go down that way, guys. Go down that way. There'll be a bit of that going on, I reckon.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. Just something for fun.
Yeah, you got to, mate.
So we're going to do that race. So who knows where that goes?
Yeah. So the week ahead, like I know Ichi Hatano's here already.
Yep.
He's spending some time in Sydney with his family. He's guesting here at Little Tokyo next week with his apprentice. Then I think this week we've got Jack Douglas, Sally Lee, and one of the other ladies that works with her.
Yep.
I think Evan Griffiths and Rob Abel are in the house as well, and a few other more. Like your shop's going to be getting loaded up this week as well.
It is. We've got Eddie.
Yep.
Is back. You know, he's
No stranger to Australia.
No stranger. He's got the new flash sheets that him and Guy did.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's going to be tattooing from that sheet.
Amazing.
He wants to.
Yep.
So that's cool. That's good. It's a good thing to have, you know, some smaller stuff that people can just get as a banger, memento.
Yep.
You know, it's definitely, it's all 90s.
Yep.
And they worked for it quite hard. They worked on it quite hard.
And Eddie's like so adaptable as well. He just draw it on whatever.
He just drew it on. Like he's part of.
Speaking of that,
part of that style.
There was a rumor that he was potentially going to try and get a made-to-suit bodysuit done.
He sent me a video yesterday.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. I've seen the line work. Yeah. Yeah, he's super keen. He's done the line work. He's got the dimensions. I'm back and forth with him a few times about it. And, he sent me a video, which I didn't save.
Yep.
Of the line work of the bodysuit. So, that's going to be on show, which is pretty special.
Yeah. So I imagine he'll have this year. Is there any books left or a couple?
For Eddie, there's a couple. I think he might have a couple.
Yeah.
But not a lot.
Machines.
He's bringing machines. He might be bringing some other treasure. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Maybe from a period of time that everybody's interested in.
Nice.
But,
awesome.
Who knows?
Yeah. Awesome.
The man of mystery.
Yeah, well, he is. And then that's Freddie's second trip to Australia.
Yep.
He loved it last year.
Loved it. He's back.
Yeah, one of my favourite memories of the convention last year, when it was all said and done on the Sunday night, a lot of everyone had cleared out. Freddie was just walking down the aisle, playing air guitar to some cool tune, and just the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah.
He had the best time.
Yeah, no, it was such a good time.
Yeah.
And then the party continued at 13 feet, you know.
Yes.
The next day, it was like Monday, it was like all on again till 4 in the morning.
Yep.
And then the next day, that's why. So at 13 feet, we'll have Eddie, Freddie.
Yep.
A couple of days before the convention.
Yep.
Junie.
Yep.
Deno.
Deno, yep. Brian. Son.
Yep. There's going to be, there's so much going on.
Okay. And then Andrew.
He's going to be doing a couple of interviews for Books Closed.
Amazing.
I think maybe there's a rumour that he might be actually doing the official interview with Eddie Deutsch.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
Because I spoke to him on the phone the other day and I was talking about, we talked about Philip Liu and he's like, where do we go from here when you've interviewed Philip Liu? And I was like, well, I've seen the photos of Eddie tattooing Philip when he was young and Felix.
Yep.
And I was like, that's where you go, bro.
Yeah, totally.
That's the link in that time period, and from Tattoo City and all that period, I think Ed, and how he handpicked the crew. Yeah. He was like first off the rank, I think.
Totally. Like I was going through a bunch of old flash for the Gold Coast shop.
Yep.
And I found some old Eddie Deutsch and Ed Hardy
Yeah.
flash.
Yep.
Like Tattoo City back in.
I know that was So that's timeless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, that's going to be a good listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Toddcast is back.
Awesome.
I'm doing that. I'm going to get. Well, the problem I had last time was I'm not in one place for a long time, ever.
Yeah.
You know, so I did a few interviews and started doing it and wasn't really feeling it because I was having to be in a place or in one place all the time. So I just couldn't get organised enough to be able to pull that off.
Yep.
And then, so I've been back in my brain for the last 12 months about it. I bought a full mobile kit that I can fit on my bike.
Oh.
And I can just carry it. I needed a full set of stuff that I could carry, you know.
On tour.
Constantly. So I've done that, and, you know, I've lined up to talk to Freddie, Eddie, Junie. There's a few on the list.
Awesome.
And I'll, you know, do you. I'm going to do Andrew. Andrew. Because I said to him, you know, he was like, "Oh, you sure?" And I was like, "Well, you're the guy that's that interviewing anyone. I want to hear what you get out of it.
Yeah, totally.
You know, how you feel about everything you've learned and listened to. You know, like that's important also. So that's going to be cool. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do it super naturally and try and just do it in places. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to have to be quietish so you can get the sound, but. It's not going to be any particular place. It's just I'm going to try and work off timing. Yeah. That's it. You know?
And the vibe, spontaneity.
Yeah, because that's my personality, and that's the only way I can keep the energy up to try and do it.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. It's the only way I can do it.
Yeah.
And I know who I am. Yeah. So I've got to do it like that. Yeah. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I just thought it's too good an opportunity getting to meet all these people and not 100%. Documenting anything.
100%.
And, you know, I was sort of getting to that stage in life where I should be documenting more than the other way, you know. And the cat's out of the bag.
And what an opportunity as well.
Yeah. I just feel like I should be doing it. And I've built up, you know, a friendship / rapport with people, and I'd like to share that with people, you know.
Yeah. Well, there's such an interest for it. There's plenty of podcasts in the world. There's plenty of tattoo podcasts.
Yeah. You
know, there's enough for everyone.
Yep.
And there's audiences for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna just do tattooers as well. I don't think it's just I'm just gonna sort of try and be inclusive of my life and people I meet. Like if I meet, you know, professional dirt bike riders, musicians, like I just meet an array of people, as you do.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of we've both been in the industry long enough and at this age in life where, you know, we can talk to every cross-section of society and we meet them all as well. Yeah. So, you know, young and old, bring them all.
Yeah.
And it's good, like, when I was 25, I wouldn't have been able to speak to somebody like I can now. Yeah. Because of life experience and God bless the street shops that you come up hard and fast and you know, it's amazing. So, it's good.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. Whereas, you know, when I dipped my toes in last year, I wasn't excited. I was forcing it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I've jumped around and tried different formulas and... Yeah. That's what you got to do until you find the right little mix.
Yeah. So, and I'm just going to try and I want to try and make it about, you know, the same concept as like past, present, and future.
Yep.
Instead of just talking all about the past, or, you know, some people get bogged down in that, I think. Yeah. And, you know, people progress in life. So, you know, people have past, and then they have what's going on now in their life, and then how they see, if they see, like what they see, you know.
Well, what's Bill Canale's shop called in San Diego? Full Circle. Yeah. And that's where life goes generally. Yep. You know, like you would notice it even in your own tattooing, as I have in mine. Yeah. You learn all of these different skills and everything, and you come back and find what suits you the best.
Yep.
You know, and it's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else is there? Listen, we can just sit here all day, really. It's nice in the sun, actually.
Oh, it is. And, you know, and historically, August is always an amazing month in Sydney.
Yeah.
You know, there's never any rain, the sun's out.
Yeah.
Town Hall again is going to turn it on. Sydney City's going to turn it on. Like, I don't think there's been a convention in Sydney until maybe earlier this year.
Yeah.
You know, so we're in that sweet spot for that time where we're starting to come out of, you know, the doom and gloom.
Yep.
The economy's turned.
Yeah.
You know, people are a bit more optimistic. The city's a bit more rejuvenated.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be a great thing. You know, you can already see people's personal Instagrams, the convention's Instagram.
Yeah.
Starting to load up.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting excited, getting their banners and stickers and flash out and bookings. So it's going to be good.
Yes, it's going to be good. And we've also, I forgot to mention, the Best Banner Award.
There we go.
So there's a trophy.
Oh, there we go.
There's a trophy.
So it's not too late to paint a banner up.
Yeah, we got the best banners.
Yeah.
We haven't finalised the entry criteria, but we're leaning towards hand done.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be painted. Hand done, maybe.
Hand drawn or whatever.
Hand drawn.
Yeah.
So there's an award for that. So get excited.
So if you've got your banner done by that guy in the Philippines with all that generic text, don't enter it.
Yeah,
which is cool, but it's got its place.
And
but
we did,
not here.
you know, it was we had talked about it, but we hadn't finalised it. I just remembered yesterday doing the plaques, and I was like, oh, that's right. So next year will be more organised, but there is a trophy this year, and next year will be there'll be the criteria will be clear.
Yeah. Another cool thing, speaking of banners, is I'm pretty sure Jed Hill's painting his own banner, and Hamish Hamilton from down at King Kong's in Ballarat.
Yep.
They've got a real cool friendship, and we're going to be playing the documentary on Jed Hill that Hamish put together.
Yep.
So you've got a real cool thing now of like a seasoned old school legend and veteran, and Hamish, who's like a newer tattooer, probably 10 plus years deep. Jed has influenced him heavily, and there's that real resurgence in, you know, people have got like trad tats all over them and now getting them sleeved, whether it's called Sydney style or whatever. It's just old school 80s, not Aussie style, right? So it's going to be cool to see those two working side by side together, and how, back to what we were talking about before, you know, from the old, the new can be influenced, and from the new, the older generation can be influenced as well. So, you know, in one of the history things, I'm going to get Jed to just run through like a slideshow of old school Aussie tattooers and just recount stories of them, information, a little bit of a Q&A. So yeah, there's a lot of good things on the horizon.
Definitely.
And hopefully one of the nights leading up to the convention, we'll have another little surprise evening like we did last year.
Golden nugget.
Yeah, where Freddie spoke on the history of San Francisco tattooing.
And that was cool.
Yeah, so just another little thing that, you know, your normal convention doesn't do. So it's, you know, it's all the goodness of giving back.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, for me, I'm very fortunate to have yourself, MJ Forrest, Jed Hill, and Eddie Deutsch are going to come up and help launch the new little Tokyo on the Gold Coast in Surfers Paradise. So we'll be doing tattooing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Friday night, we're going to G up Eddie to do a little bit of a talk, probably followed by Jed as well, or before, see who finishes tattooing first. And just sort of, you know, the boys, Dan and Benji from Made to Suit, have done some great things there. The Goldie has such a strong heritage and a strong tattooer base. For me, as I'm sort of coming back to work, that's nice to do something as well. And sort of turn on. So come one, come all. Keep your eyes peeled. Should be fun.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to I've been there before.
Yeah, you painted,
I'm going
you
to finish
felt
that
it,
little
finished
script,
campaigning.
but yeah, I'm excited to go up there. That's going to be fun.
And then we've got to go and look at something. There could be something on a Goldie next year.
Man, who knows?
Time will tell. Time will tell. So, yeah, all in all, just another good time ahead, Todd. And I think, you know, come one, come all, tell your friends, tell your family. My mum's coming down. My mum's pretty old. My younger brother's coming. So there's going to be a good
something
mix.
for everybody, you know?
Yeah, totally.
There's something cool to look at, really. And just, you know, the building, the people, everyone's cool.
Yeah,
you know
and if it's anything like last year, which fingers crossed, the tattoo gods are going to shine on us, everyone was busy. People came through the door, and as first-time convention organisers, you're worried about two things. Is anyone going to show up and a tattoo is going to make money?
Yeah.
Thankfully, both of those things happen.
Thankfully, yeah.
You know.
So this year is going to be bigger and better.
Yeah.
It's not so much focused on bigger, it's just better.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, we have got downstairs, which we weren't able to get last year.
Yep.
Everything's more fine-tuned and has, team tattoo.
Yeah, bring it on.
That's where we want to live. You know? We don't want to live like either side. We're just in the middle, and we're just doing the things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a cool place to be, really.
Yeah, very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate.
Yeah.
Well, I've got nothing more to say than buy your tickets and come along and have some fun and get tattooed and buy some merch and learn something and meet new friends, old friends.
Yeah.
Celebrate tattooing, celebrate Sydney, celebrate art in general.
Yeah, come for the weekend.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, you know. Yeah. Sydney's got a lot to offer now with everything back open. The tram's finished, the construction work's finished. Yeah. You know, you can get around the city by tram or walk. Yeah. You know, get your steps up.
Yep, a lot of good museums, a lot of good galleries.
Music, bar, there's like the harbour.
Yeah.
You know, we've got it all.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Be there or be square.
We are the city.
Cut.